Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that. We had to do that. You know, we rarely play Nigerian music on the show, but today we had to play that for Uncle Jide. Today. Like I told you, today we have a very, very, very important person on the show. And we have 40 minutes to speak to him, and I know that 40 minutes will not even do the justice, because when you are talking to Uncle Jide about Nollywood, when you are talking to Uncle Jide about Nollywood, he's very passionate about it. When you are talking to him about Nigeria, he's passionate about it. Uncle Jide is one of the few people in Nollywood that I know is also very passionate about his children, the way he runs and keep tab on them, and he's also one of the few people who value friendship a lot. So there is so much to talk about Uncle Jide. But before we begin, Tommy will tell some of the Gen Zs at home listening to us who don't really know Uncle Jide a bit about Uncle, because there is nobody that should really not know anything about Uncle Jide.
Okay, so Uncle Jide Kosoko is or in my case, I shouldn't say uncle, I should say daddy.
So uncle or dad is part of the name.
Uncle Jide Kosoko is a veteran Nigerian Nollywood actor, producer and director who has been in the Nollywood industry for decades. He has acted in numerous Yoruba and English language films. Jide Kosoko is from Lagos State, from the Kosoko royal family of Lagos Island. He attended Yaba College of Technology in Lagos, where he studied business administration. He began his acting career as a child in 1964, I think at the age of 10, in a television production called Makonjola. He was inspired by the success of Hubert Ogunde to go into acting when an acquaintance who was working with the Fellow Drone Traveling Theatre Group invited him to audition for a role in Makonjola, a telemovie. He auditioned and he was chosen for the role playing the character called Alabi. Jide Kosoko continued his acting career with the Awada Keri Keri Group in 1972. In 1972, he formed his own theatre group. Jide Kosoko has written and produced films and stage plays, including Ogwa Oyaya, which I saw. It was a beautiful production. He became visible during the video film era, producing his own film, Ashirinla, in 1992. He also starred in films like Ashewoto Remeka, Tioluwanile, Nkonla, Out of Luck, Giddy Up, Jennifer, The Royal Hibiscus Hotel, King of Boys, Love Castle, The Suez, Life and Death. Jide Kosoko is known for versatility and ability to take on various roles. He is also the former president of the Association of Nigerian Theatre Practitioners, ANTAP, and has contributed significantly to the growth of the Nigerian film industry. We welcome you to the show, sir.
Thank you so much.
Uncle Jide, let me ask the first question, and this has always been on my mind. I remember that right from when I was in secondary school, I used to buy those home videos then by Alade, Aromire. And I must tell you, growing up then, there were only about 3 or 4 people that I feel that if they are not in a film, their film will not be interesting. The film cannot be interesting because the money that I had to buy the film was limited. So I had to use it very well. You were one of them. At that point, Bookie Wright, Bimbo Oshi, you understand? Then the movie must be produced by Alade Aromire at that time. And one thing that I want to ask you is this. You have transcended every generation and has remained relevant. How have you been able to? Only few people have been able to do that. In fact, I must say that out of your generation, you are the only one that has remained relevant in the Yoruba film industry and also in the English.
And on stage too.
And even on stage. How have you been able to do that?
Thank you so much, Sheung. For us to be on the same page, I know your name, Sheung. I know your dad. I know your dad before you really know him well. I need to know your name too, our co, so that we will be on the same.
Tommy Falade.
Tommy. Yes, thank you so much for having me. And to your question, I don't think I am really the one doing it. I cannot even explain it myself. In as much as I agree, yes, an actor must be versatile, an actor must try as much as possible to be relevant at all times, but it is not me. We give all glory to Almighty God for that, because I wouldn't say it is me. But when any opportunity comes my way, I grab it and I try to put in my best. And all this best we are talking about comes from where? From Almighty God. So I thank God for everything.
Okay, so I'll jump right in because there's this question that has been burning in my head for a while. Piracy has transcended generations the same way that a few of our screen gods and goddesses have transcended the eras. And it seems like it's a never-ending battle. It seems that even in the age of Netflix and streaming platforms and Prime and all those other platforms, that piracy is still a big part of the conversation. Do you think it's something that can really end with any generation?
No. Forget about that. Piracy cannot end. As much as possible, we put policies in place to reduce piracy. Piracy itself is part of the practice, whether you like it or not, because it will ensure that you get cautioned on some aspects of what you do. Piracy is not limited to just people stealing other people's work alone. But when you steal other people's idea too, it's piracy in its own way. You don't steal people's work, you don't steal people's idea, especially when such ideas are already in public domain. So as much as possible, you try to curb it. So piracy is everywhere. Even in Europe and America, they are still battling in it with piracy, but they are guided by lots of policies by government who actually recognize their importance in nation building and their contribution to the GDPs of these countries. So all we are saying is that in as much as we know it cannot end absolutely, but government can help us put some laws in place, policies in place that can curtail the activities of piracy. For example, look at the copyright law and the punishment for those pirates is not strong enough as far as I'm concerned. We need something stiffer, something stronger.
What would you suggest, sir?
I wouldn't say death penalty. I won't say that. But then we can talk of other things. When you not only bar the person from practicing or getting close, bind them over from the entertainment industry, absolutely confiscate every instrument they are using. Apart from all that, make sure they go to jail. A minimum of 20 years imprisonment. We start to do the magic somehow.
Uncle Jide,
I don't know if I have answered your question.
You've answered it beautifully, sir.
I noticed that gradually you have maybe intentionally or unintentionally, your children have integrated in the industry. There is Shola, who is doing well as an actress and as a producer. There is Bidemi. Even there is Temi. You understand? Was he something...
There is Tunde, who directs.
Oh, okay. Was it something that happened intentionally, or they just saw Daddy doing it and got interested?
A little bit to the right, a little bit to the left. The fact is that Yoruba people will say, "Ngba tí kì bá ń ṣiṣẹ́ olè là ń ṣe, kí ló dé tá a fẹ́ kọ́mọ wa mọ̀ pa ṣẹ́ tá ń ṣe." The kind of job I do, the kind of business I do, the kind of profession I find myself is a very honorable one. And as honorable as it is, why wouldn't I want at least one of my child to be part of it? But fortunately, it is only Shola that I, not forced, but encouraged to be part of it. Others intentionally and voluntarily decided to go into it. And of course, as a father, I encourage them.
Before we go to, because a larger part of the interview is going to speak about Eshugbayi Eleko. Did I call it right?
We're
going to talk about it.
Eshugbayi Eleko.
You understand?
That's the title.
Before we go there, I'd like to ask you, for a long time now, at least for more than 15 years, I've known you to be a very strong voice when it comes to election time. And you have always supported one party. You're not like some actors who just go to collect money and campaign. And you have always switched your allegiance to one place, which is not. You are a Nigerian and you have a right to support whoever you feel like. In fact, you are a member of the presidential campaign committee of this last election. Looking forward now, we've seen one or two Nollywood actors who have used their visibility to go to seek political office or to try to get appointment. Is that something like, are you thinking of maybe trying to go to the House of Rep or something? Has it ever crossed your mind?
You have a political ambition.
Sheung, by January 12, I will be 72. So tell me, which political appointment do you think I will just be starting? If I have been doing it and the status and I make myself at this age still there, it's a different thing. So if I am not really seeking for any elected position before I got to 60, then why do you think I will be asking for any elected position now? And at any rate, my own belief is this: you don't need to seek for elective position before you contribute your quota to nation building. We contribute our individual efforts one way or the other. Look at this studio now. I know on several occasions you discuss issues that concerns the nation, that concerns the activities going around. You are contributing your quota in your own way, because whatever happens, some people will learn from whatever interview you conducted, and so be it.
In the last 2 years, you have seen the man you campaigned for be at the helms of affairs. Will you be campaigning for him again if he decides to run for a second term?
You see, I don't know why people always like to jump the gun.
That's why I said we.
He is still governing. He is still on. I have my reason for following him. And I still strongly believe it will get to that. I still strongly believe he will achieve those reasons why I followed him. I still strongly believe that. Yes, governance, for those who understand, it's not always as easy as one would have thought. I am human. Occasionally I have reasons to start asking myself, why will our president do this? And at the same time, because I want to learn, because I am interested in the stability of this country, I will continue to look at that thing that I feel is not good. And I intensify my efforts in research, in getting to understand the status of that particular issue. And if I am convinced that, okay, it is a process of getting to higher height, why not? I still continue to believe that the best is yet to come. Okay. And so you cannot be talking of 2027 now. Let's talk of what we are going to. There is no doubt about it. I will tell you things are not going too well in the country for now. No doubt about that. But then I have reasons to believe that things will still be like this until after some, actions has been taken. That's my strong belief.
Okay. Now let's leave politics. Now.
It's only a stupid person that will not want the best for himself. And let me quickly say this. I am not biased. I strongly believe that no one will aspire to be a president, number one of a country, without having a belief of achieving something good. You cannot just say, I want to be there so that I will do rubbish and people will come there to bully me. No. The system may not easily allow you. The kind of politics we practice in this country may not easily allow you. But that is not to say you will not continue to look for other opportunities to achieve your best objective for the country. That's my belief.
Okay, let's leave politics now and move to Nollywood.
That is my own constituency.
About 1 or 2 weeks ago, the court ruled on the matter between Amazon and Jide. No, not that the court ruled. Amazon and Jide and the Lagos Descendants Union, who took Amazon and Jide to court over their movie, Gang of Lagos. I know that you in this matter, we are 2 caps. You are a prince of Lagos. Yeah. You are also a prominent practitioner in the industry. I'd like to. Did you feel offended about how Eyo was portrayed in the movie, and do you feel fulfilled the way the matter was now settled?
With due respect to other masquerades, other traditional beliefs, why Eyo is different. It's not a day-to-day masquerade. And Eyo, a lot of people bastardize the use of Eyo. Even you will see some people, a common show, they are doing naming ceremony, they will do Eyo. They are in marriage, they will do Eyo, forgetting that Eyo is specifically meant to celebrate notable people who have one way or the other contributed to the society. That is the only reason we use Eyo, to celebrate the death, remembrance, not for any other thing. And that's the only reason. And a lot of people use it to do some other things. It's just the same thing like the Gang of Lagos. I honestly felt offended, in as much as I know that we have artistic license to do some things, but common sense also matters. This is not a masquerade that is not, I don't know, it's not a day-to-day thing. And you should have known it. Let me tell you something. There are things you cannot rule out. That is not to say that what they did cannot happen. Don't get me wrong. Yes, it can. But the traditional believers will not accept with you. I was in Eleshioba. I am in Eleshioba, the movie by Moabudu. And I played a sergeant, a colonial police sergeant. And there is this scene where, honestly, I did not realize it. And that is one of the major problems of not reading scripts properly before signing on. I was part of this production, and there was a scene that I have to personally, as a police, see the governor, see the administrator, the colonial administrator, wearing Egungun's
costume.
Costume.
Regalia.
You call it costume. You understand? I was there and I saw them, whites, the wife and the husband. They put on and I saw them. We rehearsed. I saw it. Immediately on that spot, queries the director that no, this will not go. But unfortunately, the role I was asked to play is to correct them. To correct the two. That what you are doing is wrong. I faced quite a lot of challenges. I mean, a lot of confrontation, abuses, curses from different Egungun societies, not only in Lagos, across the country. I realized that even if I was going to be sued to court, I should have rejected to be part of that movie. What did I do? I apologized. I started apologizing to them, even though they know that the biggest Ojuego in Lagos is in my father's house. Because I realized I could have done better, even though I'm not the owner of the film, even though I'm not the writer, even though I'm not the director, but I acted. They are not there when I mentioned it to the director. They were not there. But I have been contracted. And you know what? When something is contractual, I have been contracted to act in the movie, which I did.
Okay.
But I fixed it. I apologized. And that was it. Yes. But let me tell you something. I have seen a Gugu, somebody in a coup, going into someone's house to have fun with another man's wife. I've seen that before. I have seen that before. I was the one that settled the matter. It was a long time ago, very long time ago. I was the one that settled the matter. But that is it. Will it now be good enough to stage it? Mm-hmm. Some people, you know, Nigeria, we are human. Some people will now develop an idea from that movie, if it is done in a movie. Oh, actually, since nobody can query any cool person, I can do this. It's just the same thing they do with Gang of Lagos.
Now let's go to Eshubayi Eleko. I've read so much about it online. I've spoken to the director, spoken to Sadiq about it. I spoke with Mr. Tunde Olaoye about it, and he told me a bit about the movie. But let's hear from you. Why are you? I am happy that the new way that the practitioners are thinking now is to document our historical thing. Because before, all we were concentrating on is all those I Love You movie and things like that. But in the last 5, 6, 7 years, I'm seeing this, and this is exciting me a lot, because I don't think that there is a. I remember that when that issue of Gang of Lagos came up, and my boy Aki Shiku called me to complain and to ask for one person. So I said, "You are the Olori Eyo. What have you done to document this thing for people?" You understand? So we can't complain that somebody comes to
tell the story
in a bad way if we are not telling the story rightly. So that's why I praise your courage. So can you tell us why you went back on this project? Because I know that it's not easy to do the kind of movie you have done, and at 72, having to
A few months.
9 months.
Okay. At 71, having to put that movie together and having to now going to have to do a lot of running around to push it around, and it's not going to be an easy thing. But I know that you've always surmounted challenges. So I am sure that it's going to be a success. So tell us about the movie.
Thank you, Sean. You have even answered some of this yourself. The in-team now is documenting some of the historical stories. And if you look at it critically, you have not been seeing much of Lagos stories. So this is perhaps the very first historical movie coming from Lagos. So that is the primary objective. If I participate in other people's production, projecting the culture and tradition of their people, what's happening to mine? Especially when some people believe Lagos is no man's land. You can imagine such madness. And somebody will just wake up and say, it's nobody's man, it's no one's man. Because you live there. Your parents lived there. Your parents enjoyed the what do I call the friendship attitude of we the people of Eko. Because you are given an enabling environment. Everybody, come from anywhere. You are given opportunity to do whatever you can do. And by so doing, you are equally contributing to the growth of the state. No doubt about that. But that doesn't say, yes, if the law says you can claim to be an indigene, you can claim to be, to claim a state where you were born, fine. But you won't claim you are an indigene. Come to think of it, even we, the indigenes, still have clashes among ourselves. There are worries, we say they are the first. From Benin, the kingship, we say we are the first. You don't understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So, my determination was to ensure that I project history of Lagos.
Okay. So
and I found Eshugbai Eleko as something I can quickly delve into. Yes, we still have over 200 fantastic historical. I still have Kosoko.
I was about to come to...
so, those are bigger projects. But I have to start from somewhere. And this one I call Somewhere. It's a big project. It's a big project on its own too.
I know about that.
Okay, so when you put Umayo Yaya on stage, I think it was 4 years ago.
Okay, you watch it then.
Yeah, I watched it. I was at the rehearsal, and I was at the
during Lagos at 50.
Yeah, Lagos at 50. Yes, I remember.
But we've been doing it before then.
No, okay. I remember that you had some of the biggest Nollywood stars in the production at the time, on the stage production. Surprisingly, and it was even a capital intensive production at the time, if I remember correctly. And
you remember Prof was there.
Yes.
When you see Professor Wole Soyinka staying so glued to his chair to watch.
Yes.
He really enjoyed it, and he confirmed that to me.
So I'd expected that your first epic film would have been at Ugwanweyaya because it was a ready project.
Exactly, but
why
you see,
not?
Quite a number. You see, we are talking about the British invasion of Lagos, bombardment of Lagos. You can imagine the number of ship, the number of cannon, the number of things that are going to be involved. And that one is, I see it as, yes, I have the budget for it. I have the budget for this. And I said, okay, let me go with this first. And see, by God's willing, we are able to make enough, then I can go for something bigger.
Are you saying it's still going to come to into film, to TV?
What?
Oh yeah. He's saying that it's still going to come to
Film.
TV.
Okay.
Uncle Jide, at 71, I'm sure that looking back now, you've done very well for yourself. And to God be the glory, you are healthy. You have good children, and I envy you the way you relate with your children. You might not remember this. There was a day that me and one of your daughters had issue, and you called me. In fact, I was really, really impressed the way you handled the matter. You called me and told me that, Sheung, why are you having problem with so person? Don't you know that she's your sister? I don't want you people to quarrel again. I'm sure you have forgotten. You understand? So I see the way you carry the family and the rest of it. Now I want to ask you, if you look back and you have an opportunity, God gives you an opportunity to go back to when you were 30 and you live another, He gives another opportunity to be 71. What are the things that you think you will do differently? Will you still be a polygamist? Will you still be in Nollywood and the rest of it?
First and foremost, let me take the last one. I love my job so much. I doubt if there is any other thing I can't do easily. So if I come back, I will still go for it. And I know where I mix it at some point, and I know what to do to make some corrections. At a point when we were the alpha et omega of the industry, we are the one that dictates what happens. There was a time like that. If Jide Kosoko is not in your movie, then your movie is no movie. But we have thousands of movies now without me, and they are doing great. So that means Iru Ọlọ́run ni ó sí, Iru èèyàn wà. But there are things, you see, we had the opportunity then to fight for a regulatory body for our industry. But it took time before we realized that we were building an industry. It was just the passion that we were artificially. Then when it started becoming money, then gradually. But we should have done this when we are in absolute control of the industry, when we can dictate who comes in or out, even without documents. There was a time like that. We left the industry unguided.